This podcast is part of the Listen Frederick Podcast Network. To learn more, visit listenfrederick.com.
What's up, everybody? It's episode 109 of Beers in the Lot. Before we get going, I just want to remind you all that we have our merchandise available at beersinthelot.com/shop. We got t-shirts and hoodies and a bunch of good stuff up there. Give it a look. beersinthelot.com/shop. We also want to remind you to vote for us this week until the 17th on Frederick News Post's Best of the Best. You can get to that by going to beersinthelot.com/BOB. Or find us on Frederick News Post's voting website. We're under the category Best Local Podcast. We'd really appreciate your vote. Now, for this week, me and the guys talked about our Sunday night league, old fat bald guys hockey, and how on night one there was a little bit of a different feel. John and Eric also recounted their experience at Frederick, Maryland's In the Streets, a local street festival, where they hung out at the tent with the folks from 106.9 The Eagle. They had a pretty good time hanging out with our Listen Frederick partner, and as always, John has a story to tell about it. We also briefly talked about how Twitter seems to be very upset that there's ads on jerseys or something, and how they need to get over it. All right, let's get to it and crack the beers.
Crickety, crickety, crack! We got team pour over here. Nice, nice. What are you drinking, Aaron?
I have a beer that I'm not sure I like that much. It's Light Sky Citrus Wheat by Blue Moon. I don't know. It's just...
just chug it. Go get a beer you like.
It's whatever. It's fine. It's got tangerine peel in it or something. I don't know. It's all right. Could be better. Could be worse. What do you got, Johnny?
From Attaboy, I have Backyard Kang. It's a German Pilsner.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. I had some of those last night, so I had
Yeah.
a few left in the fridge, so I want to have them. Riggs, what do you got, buddy?
I grabbed, I'm continuing the theme of fall, Marzens, Fest beers, etc. I grabbed True Respite's Lagerhosen Marzen. Yeah. True Respite out of Durwood, Maryland. And Daniel has one of my favorite beers of all time.
Yes. So I had a friend make the pilgrimage up to Treehouse, and he went one step further and went up to the Alchemist and picked up Hetty Topper.
Yes.
And brought some back for me. So shout out to Josh. Came back with beer from Treehouse, of course.
Nice.
Well, so did he
So I can-
partake in the sponsorship? I mean, is that what happened or what?
Well, I have people. I send them out.
Oh, geez.
They gather
have
these
people?
items for me and bring them back. Yeah.
Sent a man up to
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
So are you can we call you Queen Bee or something like that? Can we call you that? You got these little worker bees and shit.
So what are we going to get into tonight?
Well, we started our league yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty cool. I was pretty excited for
We
this,
did.
honestly.
Oh, yeah.
With the jerseys, with the new jerseys and stuff we got this season, I was ready for this to start. Also, I hadn't skated in 3 weeks, so that contributed. But had some good games yesterday. For whatever reason, the draft kind of worked out. We got myself, Daniel, John, and then field reporter Ross are all on the same
Infield
same
correspondent.
team.
Yeah.
We're all the same team this season. The OFBG Kings.
Hangs.
Yeah. I forget who I was telling. Was it you, Aaron? When I said it felt kind of different. It didn't feel like an OFBG game because of the new sweaters.
It felt a little different for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're so used to playing, the same, 4 sweaters every Sunday, and now you get these new sweaters. It was definitely a different feeling.
Me and Bomani were joking before that wait till after the season when half the mutants don't wash their jerseys, and the Kings one will look like a gray jersey. The Pens jersey, which is gold, will turn into like a Hershey Bears cream color because people are dirty. Like, it was like, yeah, the Caps one is gonna just like turn into this like really like the home jersey for the Bears where it's all brown. Like, it's just gonna be gross. Like, that is my. I mean, I have a lot of gripes. You know, people not taking showers, using shower sandals, etc. Like, the people that don't wash their jerseys and then turn them in at the end of the season.
It's disgusting.
Ugh.
I bet if you follow them around, they're leaving their shopping carts in the middle of the grocery store parking lots and shit.
Middle of the lot. Yep.
They're throwing their paper bags from McDonald's out. You know, just street lights and shit. Ugh. Sick of it.
But no, yeah, it was good. Good skate yesterday.
So Air, what number for the Kings did you get? All the numbers in our league, actually, they're famous players of that franchise. So we are Kings. So Aaron, who'd you get?
I ended up with number 77, which was the number of Jeff Carter, who is now on the Penguins, wearing the same numbers. So
yeah,
it just seemed fitting.
Yeah.
How about you? What was the number you got, John?
So in OFPG, I always wore 16 because it was the closest to 36. So fellow short guy on the LA Kings, Marcel Dion, who is also a little thick, we'll be honest, number 16 as well. So like hand to glove for me, and I had no problem. Like I was like, oh, Kings, I'm gonna get Marcel Dion. Question. So Danny, who are you again?
I don't know. Number 21.
So that
I
don't think that's
I told you the
Martinez.
story. I thought it was Dustin Brown. I was like, all right, sure, 21.
23.
And then, yeah, they said, oh, 23 was Dustin Brown. I'm like, oh, well, I have no idea whose jersey I have.
Ole Jokinen wore 21. Tony Granato.
It's Tony Granato.
wore
Yeah.
21.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Granado.
you're running around like fighting people, kind of being Billy Badass.
You know me. I did win best fight of the season one year, so yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Speaking of fights, Eric, who are you on the Caps?
I got number 12, Peter Bondra, Bonsai.
Bonsai.
Was completely by
Excellent.
accident. It was we were just kind of going through the box, handing out the jerseys, and the guy that handed me the thing said, "Here you go." We didn't know at first that the numbers were actually on the stickers on the plastic wrapper. So we were just throwing the jerseys around, giving them to people, and then we started opening them, and then saw the stickers, obviously. But yeah, it was cool. One of my favorites, growing up, for sure. So it's pretty cool.
Did you skate with him?
Yeah, I've actually the Hagerstown rink back in the day was doing a fundraiser kind of thing. They're actually city owned, I think, but they were trying to raise money to do some improvements to the building, and the word at the time was that's how they were going to build the locker rooms with showers, because they didn't have showers before and all that stuff. And so they did a short sort of late spring, early summer season. And whoever came out as the first and second place teams in that short season got to play a period against NHL alumni. And one of the folks that plays in the adult league up at Hagerstown has some connections with, I think, the St. Louis Blues. And so he had all these other connections with, through that. And then obviously the local, Caps Alumni Association and all that stuff. So we got to play against a team that had Peter Bondra, Ivan LeBray, Gord Lane, who played for the Islanders back in the Cup days, Gary Risling, who was a tough guy for Pittsburgh and Washington, and Hershey, and I think he was on the Skipjacks at one point in Baltimore. So a lot of stories there. So yeah, it was cool. So yeah, I've actually been on the ice with him. I have a picture of me, and I'm using air quotes. This is audio only. I'm using air quotes. I'm defending Peter Bondra at our defensive blue line, trying to keep him from getting in the zone. I'm basically going one way and he's going the other, but in the still, it looks like I'm really in good position, stick on stick, body on body. And when my mom tells the story of that, though, I actually knocked the puck off of his stick. I don't remember that, but she'll bring it up. So
Gotta love moms.
Yep.
Always remember it in a good light for you.
I have that picture somewhere still. I'll have to find it. I'll show you guys. But that was a good time. It was a good night. And then we ended up we had like custom jerseys, and they actually set up the rooms, those tiny locker rooms in Hagerstown, kind of like pro rooms. They gave the pros like towels, and we all had nameplates above where we were supposed to sit.
Oh
And,
wow!
all that
They
shit.
did it up
And
for
then-
you guys.
And then there was like coolers of beer and stuff, and it was cool.
Nice.
Another player that played was Terry Yake. He played years
The
for the
Whalers.
Blues, right? Yeah, and so he was really cool. He was like, drinking beers with us before we went out and played, and then he took a break partway through the second period, and my team played in the first period, and then we were off in the second. You could pay extra to play in the third or whatever. So he like took a break in the second period, and he's drinking beers with us in the room during the second period and stuff. And it was really cool. Great time. But after all the game and all the hoopla there, everybody went out to used to be Barefoot Bernie's. I think the place is closed now.
Yeah.
Got dinner, did shots with Bondra and all those guys. Like, it was really cool, really cool. Late night. But yeah, it was awesome.
Nice. How'd you guys do in your game, Riggs? In your
We
in
lost.
OFG last night?
We lost.
Man.
We came out guns blazing. We had the puck in their end for probably the first half of the first period. Then it kind of evened out. And then like in the second, we just kind of ran out of gas and it was over. It got like, we were on the second rink. It got really foggy. Like,
Yeah, it was foggy
to the-
when we were first out there
like
on the front
to the
rink, too.
point where if you were standing at the blue line, you could barely see the net.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Like and even to the point where like the goalies were starting to complain and stuff. So yeah, it started to clear up, or we kind of made the joke on the bench that our eyes got used to it after a while. But like it was super foggy, and it was humid as shit because it's still
it's
still
that time
summer.
of year.
Yeah, it's still summer here, right?
Yeah.
Like
Get some pretty
So-
wild temperature swings and definitely make
Yeah.
some interesting weather in the rink.
Yeah, but we have a great locker room. We have some of the best locker room guys on our team. So
Nice.
tunes were on point. I had already coordinated with a couple folks on tunes and beer, so I brought beer, but then another guy who didn't know that was done brought his own cooler, so we had enough beer for 2 games probably in the room. And we had a good time.
Johnny handled music and beer for our locker room, and
There you go.
I think one of the other guys also brought beer too.
Good team
but, we were on the front rink, so we had to use 2 locker rooms because the locker rooms up there are so
Yes.
small. But
Yes.
so the other guy had beers for the other half of the locker room. So
Yeah,
it
there's
worked
only
out.
2 of them in there.
There was
Yeah.
2 guys over there, but they had a cooler full of beer.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. And Johnny's going to set up an access database. So of who's going to
No,
bring
no.
beer.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing he did for our team the spring
Yeah, right.
season. He just set up a rotation, sent it out, said, "Hey, if you
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
switch weeks, figure it out, like whatever." So
I'm already
He's the beer.
concerned about some of the people on said list. We don't need to get into it here.
he's the beer captain.
Yeah, beer czar. You guys have already heard about it.
You
ad
need to put
nauseam.
him. You need to put him on next week then,
I'll just say it now
because
he
if he
wasn't
misses
here
it, then
this
you can
week.
give it.
He wasn't
you
here
could do
this
another
week. So
week.
how I don't want somebody to be unreliable in this position.
Yes, that's true.
This is
That's
too
true.
important.
This might
Too
be
important.
the most important position.
I would rather
Absolutely.
have
on the team.
I mean, it is a beer league.
yeah. I would rather have no pucks, no water bottles. I bring my own water bottles, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And frankly, I didn't need the new jerseys because if we didn't have those last night, I still had an extra in my bag. So, like,
Oh, you're one of
There was
those
a-
guys that didn't turn
Yeah.
it in.
no, I usually have like a
Just
black
those spares.
in my jersey,
Oh, I
in
don't-
my
yeah.
sweater almost all the time.
he bought a like a Kings jersey and had his own name and number put on it.
Yeah,
It's yeah. It's,
he had his own in his bag.
It's a authentic game
It's
used.
a $300 game.
Yeah,
used.
it's authentic game used off the sideline swap.
Oh, I just had this lying around, guys.
it's the NHL. It's the NHL practice authentic jersey, and because LA has McDonald's on their sponsor, I have that as well. Currently, yeah. I'll have the helmet stickers next week. My favorite. I saw this awesome tweet, and it's very relevant. So, like, a lot of people are seeing now that because they had the rookie prospects meeting the other week, and then Nick Suzuki today got announced captain of the Blue, Blanc, and Rouge, and everyone was complaining about the RBC logo on his jersey. And Greg Wyshynski had this awesome tweet about I don't remember exactly all
the
of it.
goalie pads.
No, even better.
Oh.
He goes, "Oh man, people are complaining about the RBC patch on Nick Suzuki's sweater. How dare they ruin it?" As they go to an arena that's covered with board sponsors and complain about how they can't get the puck up the ice littered with ad sponsors. And then they constantly walk into the concourse smattered with ads. Like, how dare they put this 2x2 ad on our jersey?
And the
Like,
building
2
is
inch by 2 inch.
Yeah,
the
it's
building
2 by
is
2.
literally named corporate
The Bell Center.
name
Yeah.
center or
Every
like
single
whatever
place.
arena,
Right.
like whatever it is. Like it's stupid.
Get
Come
over
on.
it.
Yeah.
As long as
Get
they
over
don't
it, man.
do like the forehead advertisement.
Oh, the
Like
big
for double
sticker,
IHF?
like they
Yes,
put on.
yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So
God,
NHL,
I hate that.
NHL,
Like in
NHL
Europe,
won't
yeah.
ever
Only thing-
do.
yeah.
They won't do double IHF. But
I don't even mind the ads on the pants. That
No.
doesn't even really bother me. That fucking
Yeah.
sticker on the front.
The forehead one looks
that
dumb.
thing bothers the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Well, because the problem is it takes a very prominent spot, and like it's not like a football helmet where it's completely, round there. So like all the helmets are different in terms of how they're shaped and whatnot. So it's different for every player, and it just looks goofy. Yeah, it kind of. I'm fine with like.
It looks
I mean,
goofy,
you
yeah.
see, you see some of the teams in Europe, like they have sponsors on their gloves, on the socks, on the pants, all over the helmets.
Yeah.
I mean, all the players that are complaining, kind of like, oh, well, we can only sign these deals because our salary cap doesn't go up. Like, I'm sure the owners and players are like, after this year, like, why not? Let's sell some pants ads. Like, put a few patches on it. Why not? Because they do it in Europe, so the model's already out there technically.
Right.
Like, it's not like they would be breaking ground. It would just be
Dude,
NHL.
not that it should be used for many models, but NASCAR.
Yeah,
or
good point.
fucking
Yeah.
Auto racing in general. Like
Yeah, F1, all those guys.
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
The whole car
It's-
is an advertisement.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's already there. It's already there. So
I mean, even enterprising drivers will sell the windshield. You know?
I do love Fig Newtons, but this sticker is dangerous and a hazard.
That's what they do. They start putting it on their visors.
No, that's So when you mentioned Wyshynski, because he also tweeted out years ago, the NHLPA goalies went to the league and they were like, hey, since you're considering the helmet sticker and the ads on the uniforms and all this stuff, can we sell ads on our pads?
Yeah, right. Why not?
And that was like a big deal. They really wanted to do it, and they probably still do, and so can players even leverage, what they wear on their bodies essentially,
Yeah.
for a little extra,
A little extra
beer
coin
money.
there.
Yeah, a little extra beer money there.
Well, the one thing I kind of thought of, especially like pants, like pants, like I know every NHL team has a different, I don't want to call it like dress code in terms of how the pants are labeled and whatnot, but like Toronto has that very little, it's whatever equipment manufacturer does it. It's in the white stripe, and it's like kind of small.
Yeah,
Why not raise the money to all those equipment manufacturers and go like, hey, you guys can do it. You can make your logo bigger, but this is your new fee. I'm just saying, some I'm sure won't. Maybe they're like, whatever. But like a company like Bauer or CCM or, I'm sure they'll pony up dough.
Equipment's weird, right? Because this is a cultural thing. So, like for us, since we still skate and play, the equipment matters, right? To a certain
Very
extent.
much so.
What NHL players are wearing, it matters. To younger players, it definitely matters, right?
Absolutely.
To kids, definitely matters. If they're looking up to an Austin Matthews, right, and they know that he wears all Bauer, right, they're gonna try and get
Matthews?
their parents. Yeah.
He's
He's
CCM.
CCM now.
He was
wears
Bauer.
he wears all CCM, right? They're gonna go ask their parents, get me the CCM helmet, give me the gloves, give me the pants, give me the skates.
The same models, even.
The same shit, man.
Yeah, the new
Like,
CCM X-Tax helmet,
right.
which is like $400.
But for folks that maybe watch, and maybe they're big fans, but they don't necessarily play, and so they don't use the gear. They don't care. They don't care what the player's wearing.
No,
They don't give a shit.
they probably don't. You're right.
Right. So it's not like the market's not there, but I would say like for Matthews, since he's like a fashion guy, right? So what if there was a way to work in,
God.
whatever designers that he works with and stuff
Drew.
into
it's
the uniform? Like Toronto did the thing with Drew, right? They did that
Yeah.
jersey concept thing. So what if there's a way to work that into certain parts and pieces of the uniform so that players can kind of have their own individual thing,
Yeah, good point. I get
It'd
it.
be interesting, yeah.
Well, I was kind of curious just now, like you mentioned goalie pads, like can a NCAA hockey goalie, men's or women's, do an NIL deal on the pad?
Right.
Because it would almost be goalie specific, because no player can run out there with different, but like a goalie could put, I know some of the kids for like some of the football teams and whatnot, I've seen like their car dealerships or something like that.
Yeah.
So they could essentially like put like, like a Volkswagen, Toyota, or a Honda on the goalie pads. Like they could. I mean, technically, it's their design. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, it would be interesting under the new sort of rules with NCAA where the players can go out and get these sponsorships. Can you actually leverage that in uniform? Or is it only outside of, the team sort of aspect of things? Like
I know what you're
they're
saying.
doing that as individuals, right? They're taking their names and they're, attaching it to product and service and then getting sponsored, for that. Can they do the same thing, as, when they're on the field, right? When they're on the field of play, can they do the same thing? That would be interesting to figure out.
Especially if something like Slim Jims, you could see Macho Man Randy Savage on it or something. That'd be awesome.
I don't know if the kids these days know about Macho Man.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like-
They still sell Slim Jims, right?
Oh, yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They still
but-
sell them.
but they don't have Macho Man ads anymore.
Well,
No.
that's part
Rest
of the
in
problem.
peace.
That's part of the problem
Rest
with
in
the youth.
peace.
They don't know how to respect their elders. You know, like there's a lot of people that laid the groundwork. You know, Macho Man, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels,
Hogan.
Hogan. Hogan was on the sauce.
Did you
But yeah.
see Ric Flair was hanging out with Ryan Reeves
Yeah, I
in,
saw
in
that.
New
Yeah,
Jersey
nice.
somewhere?
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
god, the video's hilarious.
Oh,
Great. I think I saw it on Instagram.
yeah.
Ric Flair, he's just like, I used to hang out with Bob Probert, the toughest guy back in the day, but now Revo's the toughest guy, so now I hang out with him.
Yeah.
And then Ryan Reeves is like, woo!
Yeah.
It was great. I still don't like Ryan Reeves that much.
Don't tell Slick Rick that. He's gonna come for you.
He was my favorite wrestler, man. He was my favorite.
I liked Rick, and then Shawn Michaels is my boy too. I like Aaron. Who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
I was lame. I liked Goldberg.
Yeah, that's cool.
Goldberg was cool.
He won everything or whatever. I didn't
Yeah.
pay as close attention as you guys did, but I don't know. I was like, hey, this guy, he wins every single fight. He's got to be like the best, right? I like him. He had a really cool entrance though, with
Yeah,
like
he
the,
did.
the
Yeah.
sparks stuff that would like start flowing or going over the entryway. He'd walk into that, and then they'd turn off and like blow the smoke out and everything.
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Goldberg
man.
didn't mess around. What about you, Danny?
Mankind or Undertaker.
Yeah.
Those are my
Nice.
boys.
Yes.
Can't go wrong with him.
Yeah. I remember playing the Sega Royal Rumble game. I was always Undertaker. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was sick.
awesome. So like Jeff liked my brother. He was like big into Undertaker too. And then my younger brother Neil, weird enough, he liked Stone Cold. Like that was his favorite wrestler. But the funny thing is, I will say this, like
It's very
everyone,
fitting.
yeah,
Yeah, it
with,
actually is.
Like Neil, Jeff, and I all love The Rock. Like we're like when The Rock was fighting, appointment tell, and I'll never forget. This is like
I don't think I actually liked The Rock during that time.
I-
now
So
awesome.
yeah, I liked him then though, but Shawn Michaels also was like kind of on the way out when
Mhm.
Rock was
you
starting
said
to peak.
you said you liked The Rock when he was fighting.
yeah.
He sucked. He couldn't wrestle. He was terrible.
He was the most electric man in people in sports entertainment.
Did you
What are you
smell what
talking
he was
about?
cooking?
Yeah, Jabroni.
He was great.
His
He
promos
was great with the
yeah.
mic. Yeah,
His
but
promos were amazing.
he couldn't wrestle. He sucked. He was terrible.
This reminds me of a conversation that someone started belting out last night about wrestlers. I don't need to get into it, but yeah.
Oh no.
He's a poor man's ultimate warrior. He's well, actually,
Sting.
Sting. The desert rose, LA. I just covered 5 things just now. But actually, like, kind of funny. We're talking about this last weekend. Eric and I did a great Frederick event
Oh,
last weekend.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. In the streets. Frederick's birthday, baby.
well, I don't know if it's the actual birthday, but yes, it's
They always say that's a
considered-
birthday celebration.
Yeah, considered the birthday celebration. Yeah, so through our connection as being members of Listen Frederick, the local podcast network here in Frederick, Maryland, the couple radio stations that are part of Manning Media, which runs Listen Frederick, 106.9 The Eagle, and Key 103, had some booths down at In the Streets down in downtown Frederick. And we were offered up a couple hours to sit at the booths with the street teams and talk about the podcast and try and make people's day, which Johnny definitely did. And
He's very
it was
personable,
good.
you know?
It was good. We met a lot of really cool people. We met a really cool dog, Hero the
Great
Great
Dane
Dane,
named Hero.
who's now Johnny's new best friend.
We're
And,
bros.
we met a Rangers fan who said he was going to listen to the show while he's at work now. So
Yes.
that
Shout
guy
out to
knew-
him. Yeah.
that guy knows who he is. So yeah, and he was really happy that we're on Spotify, and we informed him that we're on all the platforms. So,
Every
which if-
platform.
Which if you're listening, you know anyway. So I don't know why I'm saying it. Um,
To reiterate, in the event.
By the way, rate and review and subscribe.
yeah, exactly. Whatever
review,
app
subscribe.
that you use or platform you use. Yeah.
Please.
And so it was really good. It was a good time. And then when we were done with our time, we kind of hung out in the we were at the 1069 the Eagle tent. They were playing great music over there,
Playing
and then they
bangers.
they had some bands down the way because we were right on the Carroll Creek there in downtown Frederick. So they had some bands at the amphitheater down the way. So when we were done with our time at the tent and gave it over to the next podcasters that came in, what is that show called?
Big Sci-Fi Podcast.
The Big Sci-Fi Podcast. They came in, got their shift, I guess, started, if you want to put it that way.
Punch
Oh,
the
so you guys
clock.
clocked out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
punch
we
the
clocked
clock.
out. We pieced out and grabbed some beers and went down to watch or listen to some of the music from the
Nice.
Yeah.
band. So it was a good time. Great time. The birthday of Frederick in the streets.
Yeah, it was really cool to do like an event like that. And like I made the joke to Riggs, like not in a bad way, like, and this is not like a shameless plug, but please, I hope they use it as such. Like 106.9 is like all top 40s of like 80s and like
80s.
very early 90s.
Yeah.
But like predominantly 80s. So like every song we not only knew, but we were like, this is like my locker room playlist, like the same stuff pretty much.
Same
so, yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So had a great
It's
little
great.
time. It was nice, kind of just doing some public stuff, because it's been a while since that event especially has like had quite a bit of people there, obviously. So like it was nice to see like a lot of people came out. It was good to see. That's
Yeah.
always a good. Hopefully we get to do more.
Johnny made up a game while we were standing there.
Yes.
And we were listening to the tunes. So the 1069 the Eagle street team was there. And we were trying to help him out and like get the feel of the crowd and everything. And Johnny came up with a great idea for a game, and he should explain it right now.
So as I said, the 106.9 the Eagle, or as Aaron called it in our group text, the caw.
Every time you've been saying 106.9 the Eagle, I wanted
You're
to
thinking
say
in your
that.
head, yeah. So they were playing tunes, and we had kind of the opening shift. So the first little bit, it was kind of like people are filtering through, they're just getting there, so it wasn't as busy. So I said, hey, we're gonna play a game. So as we interact with the people, if you could somehow make sure in your talking or questions or just basic interaction with the public, if you could line up a lyric as it's going on, and it has to be natural. You can't just like randomly blur out lyrics to somebody. You got to like put it in an actual question or statement. So, for example, they had a game of Plinko going on. Tears for Fear was in the background. This girl on her third time accidentally, went in the little red. You didn't get anything. section. So I was like, doesn't that make you want to shout? And everyone was like, oh, really? Like, that was really good. So yeah.
Yeah,
I actually got our buddy Gooner to Careless Whisper because he came to the bridge area, which is kind of right where we're setting up at the very start of Carroll Creek by like La Paz and everything. If you're in Frederick, you know exactly where that is. If you're not, sorry. But
sorry about it.
Sorry. So they had this blocked off. So Gooner actually came and he was like, hey guys, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then I just like, we were like, oh, you can't come in. That's lame. That's lame. Oh, it was like, Gooner, I'm never going to dance again though. So everyone's like, oh God, he got us right there. Like, so like, it was little things like that. So yeah, but
we had a great time.
Yeah. And like, Eric, I'm sure can admit, like, it was nice just like kind of just meeting people, talking to people. It was good. Really good event we did. And I would like to do more.
Absolutely.
That's a good way to get out of the community. Absolutely.
Yeah, speaking of the community, that's one of the things going on right now that is of particular interest to us, at least. The local newspaper is actually doing public voting for some of the best things in the area. So one of the topics or the categories that they have is best local podcast. And we made the top 5 after the first round of voting. So we want to encourage everybody to go vote for Beers in the Lot for Frederick's best of the best. The link, you can find that at beersinthelot.com/BOB. And that'll take you straight to the voting page. And you can vote there. But don't let that distract you from the fact that in 1998, The Undertaker threw Mankind off of Hell in a Cell and he plummeted 16 feet into an announcer's table. All right, that'll do it for this one. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We really appreciate all of your support, be that your listens or your ratings and reviews, likes and subscribes on your different podcatchers. All these things help our show get into more ears, and that's always good. Thank you so much. If you really want to support us, check out our Patreon, beersintheLot.com/Patreon. We've got pint glasses and koozies and some other cool stuff for patrons that aren't on the shop yet. But speaking of that, for Beers in the Lot t-shirts and hoodies, check out beersinthelot.com/shop. Could this be the episode where I don't mention joining Discord? Well, obviously not. beersinthelot.com/Discord, come talk to us. But if we don't see you there, we'll catch you next week. See you.